welcome to the live. Let's go to the channel. Welcome to the. Yep, we're on. I can hear myself. All right, we can start here soon. Oh man, interesting video today. Sea ice anomaly in the BKS. Barents, Kara, C. Sign of polar vortex or sign of increased SSW events. Positive snow cover anomaly in Siberia. Increased chances of SSW events. This might not just be a cold December. We may extend this through January, February. Covered that in my video today. We're going to cover it in this live. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about everything in this live. Everything. Hi from Door, Alabama. What's going on, Nightwolf? What's crack-a-lackin'? I keep forgetting to post some of this stuff to my TikTok. Some of these updates on my X. So we got to get there. We'll get started in just a second here, talking about everything. Let me make a real quick post. I gotta post my story more on TikTok. I gotta be doing that. What's going on, guys? We'll get started here in just a second. Okay. Oh, what else did I forget? Oh, I know what else I wanted to do. What do I see for New York City? I see a nor'easter this winter for New York City, and I'm pretty confident in it, which is good snow. I have my reasonings, and I'll go over that in a little bit. Let's do save image as. Let some more people hop in this live, and we will get started. Save. Da-da. All right, that should be good. What's going on, guys? Morning to everyone in the live. Good, beautiful hump day. Okay. Did my video? Oh no, my video is about to post. My new video is about to post. Not yet. Post I think at 8:30. 1 minute. All right. Interesting topics today. Who in this chat has heard of the Barents Kara? Sorry, Barents Kara C. I always want to say that. I always want to say it the wrong way. The Barents Kara C. Sorry, Barents Kara C. Who's heard? Who knows where that is? Or the BKS. I'm just gonna call it the BKS because Barents Kara is too hard to say. The blue is snow. This is what the GFS thinks where snow's coming over the next 2 weeks. This is where our European thinks snow is going to be over the next 2 weeks. Up to the north. This is where our European AI thinks snow could be over the next 2 weeks. That's actually our ensemble. Let's go right here. Big snow up there for the upper Midwest and portions of northwestern Midwest. But also look at the 00Z of the Euro AI. The new run of the 00Z of the Euro is actually very wimpy. And did I see that correctly? Very wimpy here from the. I mean, it's not bad for early December, but again, that's the Euro AI and GFS see a lot more snow than that. You can see here on the Euro AI, the 06Z, the 00Z over the next 2 weeks. You can see the GFS is a lot more aggressive than the Euro. You got right there. You got this as well. Interesting. Canadian, do we have some stuff in range here? because Canadian's not quite in range, so I think we're going to see more than this. But you see Canadians trying to put a little bit of snow as well up in here in this region, so pretty interesting. We'll see. If the Euro AI is correct, though, I mean, the Euro AI is still seeing this. The thing that's popping out on the Euro AI is the temperature anomalies. I mean, this is absolutely wild, and I can't believe it's still showing this. I kept thinking this has to go away, right? Because you want to know what this is, guys. You want to know what this is. Let's go into Central. I'm going to go over some stuff, and then I'll get to your questions. This is the Euro AI saying we're going to get down to 18 degrees, feels like, in Houston. Almost 0 degrees. Dallas-Fort Worth, 4-6 degrees, feels like. Negative 40 degrees out here through the central to northern plains. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I buy this. This is a pretty crazy outlook here. The Euro AI is going hard. Although we're going to talk about a lot of signs here that may lead you to believe that maybe the Euro AI model isn't so crazy after all. When do I expect Ohio to get snow? Probably within the next 3 weeks. I think there's a pretty good chance. I think there's a pretty high chance within the next 3 weeks you guys are going to get some decent snow. Early December. All right. Okay, so let's go over this. In my video today, let's see, did it post? It did. In my video today. Oh, you know what I just thought of? In my video today, I go over kind of 3 signs that not a lot of people are talking about. One's the MJO. People are talking about the MJO. They don't talk about it as much as they should. The other's the snow cover in Siberia, which I think is going to lead to a replacement of the sudden stratospheric warming event we're currently having with another sudden stratospheric warming event. And then our BKS sea ice anomalies. Barents-Kara sea ice anomalies. And I want to talk to you guys about that. So really quickly, let's take a look at that. Let's go to sea ice and snow, northern hemisphere. This stuff is very important, okay? Let's get the boring stuff out of the way, guys, so we can talk about the fun stuff. And this isn't boring, actually. This is going to affect our whole winter. We have a little bit. This right here is the Barents-Kara Sea. And if there's more ice here, if there's less ice here, it can have a big effect on our stratospheric polar vortex. I'll get to your questions in a second, guys. We're low here. We have less sea ice here, I think, than we've had in 4 to 5 years. So what happens? The less sea ice you have here, you get more heat and moisture up into the lower troposphere, off the ocean, right? Because there's not ice on top of it, off the ocean. Heat and moisture off the ocean, and you typically develop a pretty strong low pressure here. Now, this creates a pretty steep gradient between your BKS low pressure and your Siberian high pressure system that we typically have set up. So, the steeper the gradient, this leads to stronger winds, and typically more your kind of Rossby waves propagating up into your stratospheric polar vortex. You don't want strong tropospheric. You don't want strong winds that are moving from the troposphere to the stratosphere, punching up against the stratospheric polar vortex, because that's a disruption. So again, stronger low pressure here, due to a lack of sea ice, leads to stronger planetary waves because of the gradient here between the high and the low, amplifying your winds. Leads to stronger planetary or Rossby waves, punching into your stratospheric polar vortex. So, interesting. Not a lot of people are talking about the lack of sea ice here. Let's just move back to November 19th, 2023. Why don't we? Because we can. Whatever, that's close enough. Here. Can we get November 19th? Okay. I want you guys to notice this region right here in particular. See all this ice? You guys see all this ice in this region? I'd even notice down here. Watch what happens when we go to the present. Did you guys see that? Do I need to show you again? Let's show you one more time. This is important. Notice all of our sea ice in here. Okay? Now I'm going to go to the present. Ready? Here we go. You see how it comes back? All this does is amplify our low pressure here. And you're like, oh, that's not that much. This is a lot of sea ice. That area is a lot of sea ice. Amplifies our low pressure. So this is going to disrupt our polar vortex a little more than normal. Another thing that not a lot of people talk about is the Siberian snow cover. Here's Siberia. It's just cold Russia. It's called cold Russia. The more you get what's called Siberian cold core highs, the more snow that's on the ground. This is like the most simple concept ever. The more snow that's on the ground up here early season, the more sunlight it deflects. Okay? The more sunlight it deflects from the continental surface, the cooler the continent gets. What does a very cool, cold surface level air on the continent lead to? Typically, a high pressure system forming above, a more amplified high pressure forming above. And now we're talking about gradients again. You get a more amplified high pressure above here, and this is what ends up pushing against and sending these planetary waves, these Rossby waves, up into the polar vortex, okay? Because of this stronger high pressure system. The same thing that happens because of the BKS and Eurasia anomalies out here. Simple stuff. Big, strong, high pressure systems forming from a lack of sea ice and an extent of snow cover disrupt this up here. So you've got a lot of things. So this is why when I look at this, and we're going to go, I'll take your questions in a second. This is why when I look at this, see, climatology is way cooler than like meteorology, right, guys? Climatology is way cooler. So this is why when we look at our stratosphere and we have this crazy thing happening on our Euro where it's saying, yeah, I know we're dealing with a stratospheric polar vortex or a sudden stratospheric warming event that's breaking our stratospheric polar vortex right now. But guess what? That's going to, the stratospheric polar vortex is going to try to heal itself, but watch. Boom, another one. Here comes another. By the way, you want a healthy stratospheric polar vortex, you have blue here, okay? Not red and white. So look, oh, we're going to start to heal ourselves, right? We're going to start to heal ourselves. We're going to increase the wind speeds up at the stratospheric polar vortex. Not today, Satan. There's our second stratospheric warming event in December, potentially. I think a lot of this is driven by our Siberian snow cover and our BKS ice anomalies, mixed with some other things. La Nina's poke into that stratospheric polar vortex a lot more. Why? Simple. In a La Nina, your equatorial jet stream is weakened and your polar jet stream is amplified. An amplified oscillating polar jet stream is going to punch into the stratospheric polar vortex as well. So it's like a triple whammy here, guys. That's how I feel. Sadie Slowcott or what? Thanks for the 5. Okay, now let me read chat and answer all your guys' questions. I'll show you what some of our snow models are showing over the next 2 weeks, by the way. Actually, I wonder what our ensembles are showing for snow. I'll put that up on the screen while I answer your questions. Here you go. Let's actually look at percentile winter total snow. No, that's not what I want. I want we'll pull up some of these. Let's look at the GFS ensemble, and I'll show you guys this. Here's where the GFS likes snow over the next 2 weeks. The ensemble. Here's everyone it gives a probability or a possibility of seeing snowfall too. Hey, Manuel, I appreciate you. Let me catch up on chat and let me answer questions. Good morning. Yep, answered that one. Answered that one. Very low audio. Are you sure? Is it very low audio on the YouTube side, guys? Let me know. Very low audio. I can turn my audio up a little bit here. There we go. Check. Let me know if it's too low. I'm late, and yes, audio is low. Interesting. I mean, that's weird because I haven't changed any settings. Yeah, I haven't changed any audio settings. That's okay. I turned it up a tiny bit. Sounds good on TikTok? Okay, cool. I think we're good now. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Anyway, Jasmine, Marissa, Pipple, I appreciate you guys. Keep the snow away from Alabama. Usually don't hear Alabama people say that. North Carolina snow, it's possible. Some pretty big polar vortex breaks here in December. They're going to try to throw a lot. They're going to try to displace some Arctic air down into the southeast, which is awkward. It doesn't want to be there, so maybe. I hear you just fine on YouTube. Okay. Georgia had snow last week. Now we up to the 70s. You're going to get cold again. End of the month, end of next week, you'll get cold again in Georgia. I promise you. End of next week. Let's see. Thank Christ I don't live in northern Michigan anymore. Houston. Hey, if the Euro AI is correct, Houston could get into the teens. Feels like temperature into the teens next week. We'll have to see. The European AI may be the only one taking into account some of these climatological anomalies like sea ice and snow cover. But I think these, they're supposed to be better at that. That lake effect snow is crazy. Oh yeah, I know. Here's what this is a GFS. Here's what our Euro AI ensemble sees over the next couple of weeks here. That was it. Let's look at the 00Z. Yeah, something like this. And then what is our European ensemble? Our European ensemble is not being very gracious. Our latest GFS is doing some pretty crazy stuff with snow as well. Still expecting big snow northeast and mid-Atlantic in December. Yeah, the chance is still there. That's still very much on the board, more than it has been the last few winters. The state hardly ever gets snow, and it shuts the roads down. Oh, Alabama? Yeah, I know. It's like when you get a half inch of snow in Charlotte, everything shuts down. Plastic and curtain layers in the Midwest. I live in Minneapolis. How we doing? A lot of models put big snow through Minneapolis over the next couple of weeks. So we'll see. We were, in my video was yesterday. My video yesterday, I talked about all the possibilities. We looked at 103, basically 103 different members that show possibilities for snow, and I'd say we're gonna guesstimate and say 65% of them showed snow through Minneapolis, maybe 70. I almost said 62, but I don't want people to start up with the meme. Boone, North Carolina, potential for a foot. For a foot, I don't know about that, but you have very good potential for snow in early December. I'd be surprised if you don't get at least 6 inches in the beginning of December. In Boone, well, I wouldn't say surprised, but that's what I'd expect. NTX, Pitbull, I appreciate you guys. What about Chicago? Chicago's looking good too. I mean, it's hard to tell. Someone's not going to get snow out here in early to mid-December, and they're going to be really upset because a storm isn't going to come through here and just plaster this entire region with snow. That's not how it works. You're going to get a strip of snow somewhere. What December looks like is cold air in place and storm tracks in place. Until we get, like I said, at least into this weekend, at least another 3 to 4 days out, it's really hard to tell where those storm tracks are going to want to be placed. But we know that early to mid-December is going to have an amplified or a better chance for winter storm tracks in the plains and out east, and we're going to have more cold air in place than we should for that time of year. Why is the CFS showing a huge nor'easter on the 29th? The CFS? You talking about the Canadian? When? What run? On the 29th? I don't see it. Okay, let me go to Pivotal Weather. Let's take a look. All right, we'll take a look. Oh, we're not talking about the Canadian. I don't know why I was saying Canadian for the CFS. This is our Canadian down here. GDPS. This is our CFS that I don't really take too seriously because it's not that great, but we'll look at it anyways. Yeah, I mean, you never. There's times where the Canadian the CFS gets things right. Yeah, this is the 29th. It shows this isn't even that big of a snowstorm. This is only 1,000 millibar low pressure. This would probably be 6 to 9 inches up the coast. Looks like a nor'easter, but that's not a low enough pressure for a nor'easter. It does get to a 980 as it gets up here, so maybe nor'easter conditions into northeastern New England, but this wouldn't be very strong. It definitely put good snow up and down the I-95 corridor, though, so I'll give you that. Taking a look at how it sets this up, though, and it's such a tilting trough. There's no way. I don't know. There's no way you get this tilted, this negatively tilted of a trough, and you only have 1,000 millibar low pressure. This would be at like 976. So I don't. This is what I'm talking about. This doesn't even make any sense. You're telling me you have a super negatively tilted trough with a storm system riding up the coast, and you're sitting at 1,000 millibars? My 2.5-year-old son knows that doesn't make sense. All right, let's go back here. Never makes sense. My 2.5-year-old son would come in and be like, Daddy, that should be at least like 982 millibars. He gets it. Yeah, the CFS always says something crazy. But the CFS is kind of like, the GFS is better than the CFS. But you know the saying, a broken clock's right twice a day. The CFS gets it right sometimes. It's just not very common. So, what about the Pacific Northwest? Let's take a look. Well, let's take a look at our national blend. Why do we love our national blend? Our national blend is awesome. Can you guys hear the music over on the YouTube side? Our national blend takes all of our models, our CFS and our Canadian and our GFS and our European and our Icon and our UK, smashes them all together, blends them together, and gives us what it thinks is going to happen. Now, it's only showing through the 30th, and I will say a lot of our models show a lot of activity December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So I expect this to look a lot crazier over the next 3 days because a lot of our models show big snowstorms December 1st through December 3rd, and this only goes up to the 30th of November. But you can see, bullish with snow if you're talking about how far south the blends get. That's snow chances very far south on the national blend. There's music? Oh, wait, there is. My audio is always quiet on YouTube. Weird. Interesting. I'll have to look into fixing that. Interesting. Thanksgiving, New Jersey. Again, right, guys, if you want me to tell you where there's going to be a winter storm on Thanksgiving, you got to give me until at least like this Saturday. Really forecasting, you shouldn't be forecasting until you're at a bare minimum of like 5 days out. Bare minimum. You really like don't want a local forecast precipitation until you're 72 hours out. Cold air is easy to forecast a week out, 10 days out. Not easy, but it's much easier because it's a big event. You have a big troughing system that's going to bring that cold air in, and large scale events are easier to forecast because, again, they're large scale. Smaller scale, how people are affected by a zip code, you got to get closer in time. We expect the cold air to be out here now. So if you want to know cold air wise for Thanksgiving, and we take a look at our anomalies, let's actually go here. The Euro's probably got this somewhat correct. It looks like the day, like Thanksgiving, it is going to be a split. Okay, so here's Thanksgiving morning on the Euro. Here's Thanksgiving afternoon. This is going to be close. We're going to be having a big punch of cold air on the 26th or the 27th. Does it arrive on the 27th and you're hot out here for Thanksgiving Day, but then you're very cold when you wake up the morning after Thanksgiving? Maybe. Or does that cold air arrive right in time for Thanksgiving, for Thanksgiving evening, and you're very cold Thanksgiving night, and you stay cold for a while? We'll see. And then the Euro thinks warm and then big cold again. The Euro, I don't understand. The Euro's not agreeing with any of the other models. So the Euro AI, here's what the Euro AI thinks. That cold gets there on Thanksgiving, basically. Thanksgiving night, big push of cold air. Cold air continues to push in. You get warm out east, but you get another push of cold air. I think we're going to have sustained cold air here for a little bit in early December. Don't go outside for Black Friday shopping. Yeah, potentially. 1983, 1984 is an analog. Coming winter. Yeah, I've seen people talk about that. 83, 2013, 2014, 2000, 2001. I've seen the analogs, but nothing perfectly matches our scenario here. Because again, those years don't have the sea ice anomalies we have, don't have the identical Siberian snow cover anomalies we have, don't have MJO cycles have to be. Analogs can get close, but analogs can never be perfect. I think 83 is a pretty good look though, 83 to 84. Does this mean snow chances for North Carolina? Yeah, a little bit of some well below average air in December, and some active winter storm tracks out east would give you a little bit of a better opportunity for snow in December in North Carolina. I'm seeing cold for Indiana. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. 1 second, guys. By the way, if you're new in here, I post videos every single day, updates every single day. I have a new video up today that I recorded this morning, and we go live every single morning. And if you want to become a member of the Climate Group, there's a link to my Discord in the YouTube channel. It's free. Or in all my YouTube video and YouTube live descriptions. Let me check something real quick, guys, and then I'll get back to answering questions. 1 second. Okay. One second. All right. Yo, what's going on? When is the snow coming to Boston? I can't tell you exactly when it's coming, but early to mid-December. Chances look pretty good out there for the East Coast. Again, and if you guys want to look at the MJO forecast, this is fantastic news for the East in December if you're looking for chances for cold air and snow. Let's look at our MJO forecast. No, it's not what I'm looking for. Come on. It's not that difficult, internet. Help me out. Get me to where I want to go. Get me to where I want to go, internet. What? This is not what I'm clicking on. Thank you. That's what I'm clicking on. Here you go. That's a good look for you guys. That's a good look for the East Coast. Phase 8. Phase 1 in December. Here's where it expects you to be in December, which is Phase 8. Here's where we're going. Late December, January, maybe. Phase 8 and Phase 1 are very good for cold air out east. Below average air for the plains and out east. And in particular, too, sometimes for the southeast. There's one issue with Phase 8 of the MJO in December and big snowstorms in the mid-Atlantic and New England. Does anyone in chat know what that is? Your chances for below average air, which is what you need to get a big snowstorm up there in early to mid-December, are way up with the Phase 8 and Phase 1 MJO, which is what's being projected for you guys. What's the issue, though? What's the one issue the Phase 8 in particular can present for the mid-Atlantic and New England snow? Boom! Purple. Correct. Moisture. Sometimes we have an issue with... Sometimes Phase 8 turns the mid-Atlantic and New England into a snow desert. Or not even a snow desert. Just a desert. Now, we're in a La Nina. We've got very warm waters in the Gulf. We've got a breakdown of our polar vortex that's going to try to shove these amplified troughs down to the Gulf, which can then create their own low pressures and pull them up the coast. So we have some things working against that dryness that I think will overpower that dryness. But you got one of the two things you need from this Phase 8, the cold air. Do our troughs dig down deep enough to pull that moisture off the Gulf? Potentially, because of what's going on with our stratospheric polar vortex. And that's going to sink our tropospheric polar jet. So, but yeah, moisture can be an issue, guys. Let me show you something. This can be an issue. You see this right here? The Mid-Atlantic and New England. Phase 8. December. Again, we have things working against that right now, though. So, not overly concerned. The significance and the confidence in this, too, isn't super, super high. So, it breaks down sometimes. The moisture does. It does, in fact. How much more snow is northern Vermont expected to get before Christmas? Northern Vermont looks pretty good. We're going to have a lot of clipper systems that dive through the northern plains, Midwest, and then curl up through that region. I think northern Vermont's going to do pretty well. before Christmas. Is Detroit getting some decent snow this winter? Well, December looks pretty good again for at least the chances for us out here. It looks pretty good. What's going on, Nate? Where I need snow in Denver. Well, look, I mean, you guys are projected to get some good snow. At least the mountains are projected to get some good snow through like December 2nd. Yeah, low elevation snow is going to be tough because our cold air wants to dive in just kind of east of the mountains. But who knows? Maybe it comes in a little west. Earlier on in our models, we were seeing this troughing dive into the west. It could still course correct, and I think it might course correct back to the west. That'd be really good snow. That'd be a chance for low elevation snow into Denver. Okay, goes a boring work meeting, but I'm still listening to you. Appreciate you, Emmanuel. Christmas, Eastern Tennessee, snow for Christmas. Like I said, Eastern Tennessee, phase 8, you'd be expected to have below average temperatures out here. Through leading up, as an average, leading up into Christmas this year. We just have to get a good winter storm track for you guys, but it's possible with this setup. Your chances are higher than they were last year. What's our European ensemble here say again? Or sorry, European control observational. Yeah, Euro AI likes good snow for Chicago. Really, I think on the 00Z and the 06Z. The Euro AI has continued to be bullish for this region, though. Although, we were looking at our members yesterday, and the Euro AI really liked the thought of a big snowstorm out here in early December as well. The Euro AI is just being the most bullish on cold air and snow. We'll see. It's supposed to be a next-gen model. It's supposed to be better than the Euro. We'll see. I just don't know yet. We haven't really had a lot of training with it in winter. December, Larry, Janet, I appreciate you guys. If you want cold air in Texas, you want the Euro AI to be right. Because it collapses our polar jet. Late November, early December into Texas. It tries to bring feels like temperatures to 0 degrees in Dallas. So that's, look, there's a huge collapse of cold air coming. There's an argument between the models on if it's pushing out here or if it's pushing out here. But either way, it's going to activate some winter storm tracks. So we'll see. Getting into this weekend, like I said, Saturday, Sunday, we're gonna have our models beginning to agree on our likely winter storm tracks. I think we'll have at least 2, maybe 3 set up for early to mid-December. So is it here? Is it here? Is it here? We'll see. I think it's gonna be somewhere in the plains out east, or maybe both. We'll see. I gotta get off, guys. I got work, but I did post a video talking about a lot of this stuff today, going over the model runs. If you want to watch that. Appreciate the follows. I appreciate you being in here. If you want to join the Climate Crew, link to my Discord is down in all my link to my Discord is in the description of all my YouTube videos and YouTube lives. Mods, I love you guys. You're the best. I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate you guys being in here, helping the algorithm, talking with me every morning. I'll be back on tomorrow I'll post another video tomorrow morning. I'll be back on live streaming tomorrow morning. I'll be updating my X today, Climate Corner HQ, and that's what's going on. I appreciate all of you. Have a great day, and I will see you later. Peace.